This video is just over questions 1 and 2 on your worksheet. It's just over the graphing portion. So here's question 1. I'm going to walk you through this. I want you to try this on your own first before watching this video. But if you've already tried it, then go ahead and watch the video and get some tips. You can pause it at any time if you think that you get it and try to finish it on your own. So when we're doing this, when we're solving a system by graphing, remember we're looking for where the graphs intersect. And so in order to graph these lines, it's easiest if both equations are solved for y, which they are here. So then once we have both of them solved for y, we're just going to graph them. And so this top equation, we are looking at the y-intercept and the slope. The y-intercept is 3. I know that because the y-intercept is the number that doesn't have an x next to it. So I plot that y-intercept at 3, and then my slope is the number next to x, so -1/2. So starting at 3, I'm going to go down 1 over 2, and then I'm going to do that again as many times as I can fit on my graph. That has a negative slope. It has to go downhill in order to have a negative slope. Now that I've gone down and right, I'm also going to go up 1, left 3, and put a point up there as well. And then I'm going to, up 1 over 2. I made a mistake on that one. So up 1 over 2 since the slope is 1/2. Then I'm going to connect those points. There's my first line. Now I'm going to graph my second line. My y-intercept on this one is a number not attached to x, so -2. And my slope is a number attached to x, so -3. It's not a fraction, so I'm going to make it a fraction by putting it over 1. And I'm going to go down 3, right 1. Once again, it's negative, and so it has to go downhill, which it is if I go down and right. I can also go up and left, so up 3, left 1, up 3, left 1. Connect my points, and there's my line. Now remember, when we talk about a system, we're talking about where the 2 points intersect. And so I'm looking at this point right here. This is where they intersect. What point is that? Well, it's at -2, 4. You always want to do your x value and then your y value. So -2, 4 is our solution. If I plug that back into both of those equations, it should result in true statements. Now, if you think that you get the hang of that, number 2 is slightly different. You're going to actually solve for y first. But if you think you know how to solve for y, go ahead and pause the video, solve both equations for y, and then graph both lines and find where they intersect. If you're not sure, go ahead and watch and we'll solve for y. So first, let's make this a little smaller so we have some room. And we're going to solve for y in that first equation. So x minus 3y equals -9. Draw my river. The thing farthest away from that y is x, so I'm going to subtract x from both sides. Cancels out over here. -3y equals -x minus 9. And then I'm going to divide both sides by -3. And I'm going to do that to all parts to cancel out that -3 so that now y is by itself. So I have y equals, I have -1 divided by 3, or divided by -3, which is positive 1/3 x. -9 divided by -3, which is positive 3. And now that I have y by itself and it's simplified, I can graph this line. So I'm going to do that. So the y-intercept is 3, and the slope is positive 1/3. So I'm going to go up 1 over 3, and down 1, left 3, and connect my points, and there's my first line. And I'm going to do the second line. I'm going to do it the exact same way. I'm going to solve for y. So I'm going to draw on my river. Subtract 7x because it's farthest away from the y, and divide by -3. So y equals positive 7/3 x minus 3. And now I'm going to graph that. My y-intercept is -3. I have a slope of positive 7/3, so I'm going to go up 7, right 3. And that's the only 2 points I'm going to be able to fit on there. So I'm going to go ahead and connect them. And then I'm looking for where the 2 graphs intersect, which is right here at 3, 4. So that would be my solution to this system. So when graphing, you want to have both equations solved for y, and then you want to graph both equations and then find where they intersect.